Caged Minds, Mika Frankl. It's been a while, and we are joined today by Sharahya Moreu. I think the last time we did an interview might have been Mike Adams live in studio with the whole family. Does that sound right?
Dang, that's been a minute, no?
Yeah, I feel like that might have been the last one. I talk to you guys so often, kind of all jumbles together when we've done interviews and not.
I know. I feel like we've seen each other, but we've seen each other so much. It's more like, what's up, boxing, blah, blah, blah. But it's not really like, okay, let's get down to your interview. Because, like, sometimes you forget, like, oh, shoot, we could do an interview. But we're like, like we've known each other for so long. It became more like a general boxing friendship. Like, wait, we're going to put this on the podcast real quick. But no, it's been like good. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, so it's been a long time, and there's a lot that you've been up to. Where do we start?
Oh gosh, I don't even know where to start at this beginning, because everything just like 1 minute I feel like I know what I'm gonna go for, and then like life just throws in these unexpected curveballs like, ooh, this is an option for you. This is an option I didn't know. I'm like, oh, okay. Because last time we was talking was me getting ready for the Olympic trials, and I was like 19, 20 around there. And now I just turned 23. So I feel like I'm a little old, but young at the same time. So now I'm getting ready for the Summer Fest, and I don't know if I can say what's going to happen next, but definitely not going to be, there's a check along coming away, and it's going to be real nice. That's all I can say.
How surprising to you is where you are right now than where you plan to be the last time we did that interview?
It's just crazy because like, they open like new weight classes so much more. And I was competing in like heavier weight classes. Like people see me, oh, she's tall, 5'10". Of course, she's been doing 152, 65, probably like, I'm like, no, I walk around like 149, maybe 150, depending on what And so like recently I competed at 139, and people are like, oh, there's no way she's gonna make that weight classes. She's too big. She's gonna fight these big old weight classes, even international. I'm like, no, you guys just didn't know. Like, I was just down to fight whoever I can and just make my points and make the team. That was my whole goal since I was like a teenager, and I did it. But now I evolved as an athlete, inside and out, knowing my nutrition take, my training, just everything just changed. And I'm just like, I look back at footages and videos, I'm like, how the hell? I'm like, I beat people like that. That's how I used to fight. Like, it's just crazy.
even recent footage that you've seen, you're still feeling that way? Like, you're just evolving?
Every time, even like when I see a fight and they say, oh, you won unanimous, and I'm like, okay, I feel great for like maybe 6 hours, and then the next day I'm like, what is that? You could do better. Like, come on, try do more. It's like the best quality and the worst quality of me, because I always feel like I'm so stubborn, like, no, it's never enough. So which is great because it makes me achieve more, but at the same time, like, it's okay, it's calm, relax, breathe a little bit, you're doing fine.
What's led to you setting such high standards for yourself and goals?
It comes back to my stubborn trait and my family being hard on me in a positive way, because they know I can achieve more. And sometimes some people put their mindset so low where they don't realize like it's so powerful. Like, endless opportunities are there for you to put yourself out there. And it's crazy because I'm now finally seeing that like I can do what I see people like advertising themselves. And so I'm like, oh, I could do that. And then I go there, I'm like, oh, okay, it's not that much harder than I thought. A lot of times just people are just really faking it for the internet. And I'm like, oh. So I don't know, it's different. It's hard to say because I'm just so stubborn. I just never want to settle for less. And I just always want to set myself more for the future so my family can, and my younger siblings or whoever, just don't have to take it the hard way, even if I have to be the trial and error.
How many times over these last couple of years, over the pandemic, have these goals, have you reestablished these goals? Have they changed? Have what you wanted and what you focused on, kind of, how much has this path curved and turned?
Well, especially when the COVID pandemic, it felt like it was like a weird kind of era, because we all were like, are we going to die tomorrow? What's going on? I don't want no to touch me. So it was just like, it was very like, I noticed even like looking at stats, people became very depressed. Even the point I was like, I don't know, like you put your whole life into boxing and all these other stuff, like do I have to start doing something else? Because now people are not going to want to compete because they don't want to get sick, you know? And but after like started healing up and everything, the world started coming slowly back together. I was like, okay, you know what? I need to push myself and put myself out there more because tomorrow's not promised. You know, might as well set my name and my career now before it's too late.
So this really motivated and got you going.
Yeah, like endless opportunities, no matter what. Put yourself out there. Cause like I said, tomorrow's not promised. I realized that I did everything I can now before I have regrets. Like, oh, I should have done this, should have done that. Maybe I could have tried this, like maybe I could have tried this part. Like, nah, I did it, and that's it.
And I'm just blown away that you were recognizing all these opportunities as I'm bumping and you guys. I'm like, oh, I ain't seen you for a while. Oh, we've been in this camp. We've been in that camp. You guys are traveling here, traveling there. Oh, I see your dad and Junior. Oh, where's Sharahya? Oh man, she's over here training. Oh, she went to go to this tournament. Oh no. And there was still even more that you were able to take advantage of.
Yeah, there's so much more, and it's crazy too because what happened there too during the COVID situation, so many people were on their phone, and that was a perfect opportunity also to post and showcase my talents and skills. Even though like, so people are just watching like, oh, so my like insights are growing, and people are like, oh, so she boxes, and people are like, hey, you want to come to this camp? We see how you work, and start looking at like my achievements that I feel like people were like not acknowledging in the past, and now seeing like, oh, she really did that, you know? And they're like, oh, come to this camp and see how you do it. And then I make my name for that one, and it spreads like a domino effect. And that's what's really been happening. And it's led me to like the positions I'm in now, which is like crazy because like I really had to be patient compared if I was younger, like, no, I'm gonna do pro right away. I'm gonna do this right back. I'm like, no, it's okay, calm down. This opportunities come, just chill and wait your options and know that you're worth more than what people try to tell you.
Okay, now we know that you're kind of like a sniper. You're silent with your actions, almost like an assassin out here. But can we get some humble brags? Some of these camps you've been a part of, some of these places you've been able to go to?
Well, since last time you saw me, I became the Olympic alternate for the 2020 team. I went to Cecilia Breakers camp in Big Bear, which is one of the undisputed champs. Most recognized top pound for pound girl, gave her some work. Been in Team USA, just recently got a deal with Everlast, one of their new like sponsored athletes, also campaigning for them. So, you know, you might see me at a local sporting good place and Box Raw. And there's so many more. And then I want to say more, but I like to like keep it silent and then come out with the bangers. I'm like, whoa, when did this happen? I'm like, yeah, I was sleeping on me, but I told you something big was gonna happen, you know. But there's so much more, and I don't even know what to say at this point because every time I wake up, it's like a new opportunity that I didn't even know I had.
Well, okay, you gave us a little bit there. Big Bear, Cecilia Bregus, World Championship camp. I'm not asking for details about the sparring or nothing, but what did that experience mean to you? What were you able to soak up?
The knowledge and how like the dedication she has, but also like I don't want to come off like how to say ego, but like I did very well in there. And also me growing up when I was younger and seeing like Holly Holm and her were like the biggest like rival against each other. That was supposed to be like Holly Holm's like biggest test match coming up, you know? And they were supposed to fight outside Albuquerque, but it didn't happen. And the way she called her out, I don't know if you ever seen that video, Cecilia Burgess and everything. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, oh, this girl. So when I was coming to camp, I was like, oh, she better not be knocking me out or something like that. So I go in the camp and I was like, oh, yeah, these other coaches try to make me feel bad, like if I'm not that good. And I was like, oh, I ain't good. Never mind. Let me give myself some accomplishments real quick. And that's where like people are like, oh, start twisting heads and seeing like, oh, she's that girl. And I was like, okay, I'm kind of excited now what the future holds now, because if I could do what I did in that camp and so much more, endless, so much more for me to come.
So that's awesome. And you mentioned Everlast. What's the initial thoughts when you're hearing this conversation? When it's brought to you, I don't know if it's Everlast or Pops, a manager, however it gets to you. It's like, hey, Everlast wants to sign you something. Like, I'm guessing that has to be a big deal to you, a lifelong boxing fan, somebody in this game forever.
I feel like it should be a big deal just for anybody, even if they're just like modeling or try to rep their brand, just because that's like one of the oldest and biggest industry for even like MMA, boxing, any type of martial arts. And you have one of the greatest used to like representing like Muhammad Ali, if you really look back to it. So like to be part of that journey and legacy and not be like a female edition, because my goal with them is to, and we're together, is like show like the female new era of boxing. And I also want to bring back like a woman of color and show like the indigenous roots, and to show like New Mexico has that and talent coming up. And I'm gonna be, if I have to be that stepping stool for the others to come up, it's nice, because at least we're gonna continue to grow.
Campaigns, being the face of, as you said, different ethnicities. This is a big deal for you, for somebody that, again, you haven't even turned pro yet.
Yeah, it is. It's nice. Not just that, like, it's just nice to see somebody. We always see the typical male and stuff like that, which is nice. I still look at the males from the boxing and everything, but now seeing a different face and brand era, and we don't have to, I don't want to be like a hater, but we don't have to see like the typical like blonde hair, blue eyes all the time. We see like, because when I was growing up, that's all I saw, and I was like, oh, I may not be pretty enough. I maybe can't make it because my hair's dark, I have brown hair, my skin tone. You know, when you're younger, it comes to effect. But now we see more. We're in an era where, like, more people are showing different ethnicities, different backgrounds, different body shapes, colors, and it's just like, wow, like if they could do it, I can do it too. And that's what really helped me out too.
Was there somebody in particular that really inspired you with the confidence in that fashion to be able to step out to embrace your own brand?
There's a girl, but she's not like a athlete. She's more like a rapper. Her name is Princess Nokia. She's Puerto Rican, and she really embraces her indigenous roots too. So like seeing her like having that I don't care attitude, this is, and knowing her history, and then my father being big on my history too, and just reading a lot, and just finally being in that part of stage of embracing, this is me and this is what you guys are gonna get, and that's it. It's like either you like it or just don't work with me, you know? And it really helped me out, because people like, they love it because in a way, because they see something different and it's not the same pattern and effect.
So we're going back. When did this realization happen that you could become a brand, that you yourself could be, in essence, start to become an influencer?
That was kind of hard to say. It's kind of more like, it's, you could say whatever, but some people either have it or don't, you know? It's kind of like breaking a cycle, as in, you just got to be like relentless and just don't care, because at the end of the day, it's just social media. There might be some mean, rude comments or whatever, but just be like, okay, they're doing something that you're not. And sometimes half the time people are just jealous and want to do what you're doing. So it really comes to effect is having confidence, which took me a while to grow, but also helps in the boxing, which I love about the boxing, because it helps me have confidence and plays an effect outside of the ring too.
Now, I got to imagine, from being around the family, once you started doing this, your dad was like pushing you forward. Yeah, do this, do this. He was probably excited.
Yeah, he's always been the number one supporter. Like if I say, okay, I'm gonna go do this, and that, he's like, okay, go for it. Just let me know if you need help and what's going on. He's like, unless it's something like scheduling, like, let me check this person out, what's going on. But he's always just been all for the ride, and always just, I don't know, he's just been always supportive from the littlest thing I could do. So I'm grateful and blessed to have that opportunity and have a father figure who just always been there from day one.
Now you're gaining all of this confidence outside the ring. And did that start with the confidence growing from the camp, going to Big Bear and everything that you did inside the ring? Was it kind of the same time? How'd that work out?
I feel like it was kind of the same time, because at a point in my life, I was boxing and I was like, I didn't feel like I was good enough, you know, especially going to teams, and like you win so much tournaments and then sometimes you fall or like fail like in the finals, and you're like, damn, what am I doing wrong, you know? And sometimes like it's how it come to like politics or whatever, and then you go see yourself in a camp and you're doing amazing with the best people, and you're just like confused. You're like, what do they want? And after a while, I just had to come to a realization, like looking back at my footage, and stop being so hard on myself. Like, no, you're doing great, and other people see it too. I don't know what they're thinking, because everyone has what they want, and my confidence started coming back up with just more like, you know what, we're in a social media era, let me use this to my advantage. If I could bring more opportunities outside of boxing, continue this boxing career, maybe turn into acting, modeling, whatever more else, if I could do that, I'm gonna do it. And show, like, I just want to show, like, oh, you're missing out on something you could have, but I believe in myself even when you didn't.
So you see those avenues out there outside of boxing as real opportunities, maybe somewhere else in entertainment?
Yeah, that's one of my goals, to be honest. I think it'd be fun just to like also have like a second career or something even more. Like boxing is fun, of course, but if it could put me in an opportunity where I could, you know, I don't want to be getting punched in the face 30 plus. Like, I want to have a career, maybe family, whatever, but just have fun. Because like when you've been doing this for so long, your body's gonna get torn and aches. And it's like, come on, like being in camps from like 12 years old or younger, these 8-week camps, like I want to be able to eat, you know, I want to be like, oh shoot, I'm gonna go get some of that drink right there and don't have to worry about the weight in the morning. So it'd be nice to have.
So still seeing other opportunities right now, still 24, still not even a pro.
23.
How much? 23. Oh, about to turn 24. You're telling us the birthday.
Not yet. I just turned 33. I was like, you get young still.
At 23. How much is, and you've said you look back at your footage, you're like, I can do better, I can do better. How much is it you can do better? And how much is it your style is just evolving through these camps?
It's just crazy because, you know, styles make fights. So I like to take advantage of different people I spar, or even when I fight, I like to take their little tips and use it in my own. And using fights because like every time I fight, it's always different. I feel like because you never know what style I'm gonna bring. Like we joke around like, is it the drunken master? If I'm gonna switch southpaw and I'm gonna go right hand, and my hands are they gonna be high? Am I throwing a bunch of hooks, going in the body? I like to really adapt to different situations. So that's what's gonna be my biggest thing coming this tournament and just in my career is adapting to whatever that comes to my face. Like I know some people are like, oh, why don't you take your videos or sparring down that are on your posts or something. I'm like, no, those are like videos from a while ago. And if I'm not evolving and doing better than the last time, that's on my end of the stick. I'm not training or doing better for myself. Like, go ahead, study those, but that's not going to be the same person you're going to see.
And how have your thoughts on this journey changed on doing it with your brother, with your dad? You've went out to these big camps, to these other opportunities, these national tournaments. How much do you savor these moments when you guys are still there in the backyard grinding?
I don't know. I'm so used to it at this point. So it's nice because it shows like you can really make it out of anything, and you don't have to have the best or fancy equipment, just have that true dedication, and you can do whatever you want. It's really simple, but I don't know. I don't really have a complete answer for that one, so I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's all right. And what has it been like? Also, we've seen Josh Torres has been a big part of being a big brother, a mentor for you guys for a long time. And talking to your dad now, last time I saw you guys, he's like, well, it's their strength and conditioning coach. He's full in as coach. And your dad's like, I'm letting him take care of the offense. I'm doing the defense. What has that meant to you guys now, fully training under Josh?
I love Josh and their family. They've been family and been there since I was little. Like he's literally seen me grown since I was like 12 years old into this adult, I like to say, even though I'm a little kid at times. And his family, they literally watched me grow. It's crazy because when I think about it, we started even at the Johnny Tapia's gym and everything, being there. So he's seen my transition into like me growing to a boxer, woman outside the ring, in the ring, and like see my strength. So he's really helped a lot though, because a steady foundation in his boxing, we do need a good strength and conditioning coach. And you've seen him at these weigh-ins, his physique is on point. He's always ready to fight. He's never out of shape. And like I trust him more than just paying somebody $500 to do my strength conditioning, and they're not gonna have the best interest in me, you know? Where he's been through the grind, he boxed, he knows how to put the right muscles or intake or conditioning or not, instead of just like, hey, do this random stuff and it's not gonna even help for your career. And he pushes He pushes, sorry. It just also he pushes us because with my father, we had a relationship where like he was gonna say something like, do the extra 100. I'm like, boy, be quiet. Like you get feisty. Where Josh, I'm like, he's like, do it now, 10 more seconds. And I'm just like, I'm gonna just listen to you because you've been through this, and I'm just be quiet and just get this work done.
Right. I was going to ask, how hard are those sessions? I've seen you guys are sweat dripping. It looks agonizing.
Oh yeah, I remember you came in. I was like, you saw it looked fresh, dry, and then not even 10 minutes. It looked like I'm just getting out the sauna, just like a shower. It's grueling. It's painful. I'm not gonna lie, because it's a lot of repetition, and we don't get no breaks in the boxing when you're fighting. So he really puts that in it. Nope, you're not working hard. You don't get that water until you deserve it. You see me, I was like, let me run, get some water, run back, da 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 da. But he's really honest, which is for the best, because I know he wants the best for us, and it helps succeed. And then I'm truly grateful for him.
Do you sit back at night right now as everything is coming together? And I've heard murmurs of what's on the horizon, and is it a little hard to believe that this is reality, that things are playing out as they are?
Not hard to believe too much, because I knew it was a big time to come. It was more about being patient and waiting for the right opportunities and not settling for less, because there was more opportunities, like especially after Olympic trials, people try to like, hey, do this, bro, do this, and not offer me what I'm worth. So just like, no, I'm good. My instincts are always right. So I'm just gonna wait for the opportunity. Now I feel like 100% mentally and physically ready for this next journey.
Summerfest Elite Tournament next week. Is there excitement with you to get back in the ring?
I'm excited just to be in the ring because it's what I love to do and it's fun. But it's nice to be like stress-free and just really have fun instead of like, oh, I gotta make in the top 2, da da da. So it's gonna be a different outcome this time because I'm really just gonna have fun and do what I do.
Now, how do you explain that to people? Because I'm sure that there's friends that you have that aren't in the boxing world, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna go to this tournament, I'm just gonna have fun. And they got to give you a look like, somebody is about to try to punch you, girl. What do you mean have fun?
It's maybe boxers, we're all a little bit crazy because you don't get punched. But it's in a, how do you say, it's a different reality when you're in the ring because it's just you and that person. I actually feel more safe in the ring because we have the referees and officials. Anything bad happens, you're going to stop it. And it gives you that extra adrenaline rush. There's no way to say it because outside anything can happen too. But like there, I feel more safe because I could just do what I want, not get in trouble for fighting someone, but also have a reward to show the hard work you put into like these camps really come into effect. Is this a
Sharahya Moreu, it was great getting to talk to you. Great getting to catch up.
Thank you, Mika. It was very nice to see you, even though we see each other outside.
I love the sweater.
Oh, thank you. All right. Be safe, bro.